Stars? Where we're going, we don't need stars.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into another edition of Southwest Bias live from Studio K. You see the sign behind me. It's brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading the Circle K app for free. It is Back to the Future Day. You know, that day in that fictitious movie where Marty McFly went back to the future? Sure, that day was, 15 years or 10 years in the past now, but I feel like the Arizona Cardinals have gone back to the future. They have gone back to the dark days of the way things have always been. The reason we say same old Cardinals. The reason that so many of us have been scarred by the football in the valley. A team that disappoints on all levels. But the question is, can you turn it around? Can you find something in the bye week that can help make this team better? Jonathan Gannon, after at his media availability yesterday, seemed to think that you can.
Feel like your first big test?
You said it, not me. I won't use that word. I would say we have had adversity hit us since we've been here, since I've been here, and we are in it now, right? And there's only one way to kind of flip the narrative, which I feel really confident with how we're going to do that, and we're going to put our best foot forward, put all the energy and effort into flipping it. And then let the chips fall, But I do feel good about what we're gonna do when we get back here on Monday.
I don't feel confident in it. I think I would use the word crisis as to where Jonathan Gannon and his crew finds themselves. I mean, that was all coach speak. That was coach speak 101. There was nothing said in that made you feel any better. And Shane, let's show the people what things have looked like under Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort. They're 14-27 after 41 games. They're 3-11 in the NFC West. They haven't made the playoffs. They haven't had a winning season. They have not drafted a Pro Bowler. You don't think that's a crisis? You don't think sitting 2-5 in year 3 of your rebuild, the one that was supposed to be your coming out party, is a crisis? You think there's a way to turn that around by doing the same? No, the proof is right here. And the only way that this team's going to turn it around is to find some kind of star, somebody to help lift them up. And in football, it's not one guy usually, but in this case, I'm looking for a leader. I'm looking for a guy that's going to go out there and by himself will a team to remembering how to win. You remember Larry Fitzgerald? How he'd do that? How there'd be one play, 2 plays in a game that kind of could turn the tide when Larry Fitzgerald would go out there? You never questioned what Larry Fitzgerald was going to do on a field. Even in the bad times, Larry Fitzgerald stepped up and showed that he was a true star. You've got the national media on Twitter making fun of this team. Bleacher Report posted this after the Seahawks win last night on Monday Night Football, and it's pretty damn accurate. It's the meme with the 3 dragons, and the 4th one looks like it doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It says, live look at the NFC West right now. 49ers 5-2. They're missing their quarterback. Seahawks 5-2. Had all sorts of questions coming into the year. Rams have a quarterback that literally has a trailer on the facility grounds just to try to help make his back better. They're 5-2. And the Arizona Cardinals are sitting there at 2-5. Cellar dwellers once again. An embarrassment in the NFC West. It's feeling like the old NFC East days when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals. And I don't see how you turn it around right now because it does not feel like there is a leader out there. This feels like those teams that we've seen in the 90s that just kind of were good enough to lose close, but never had those guys that step up and turn the tide. I'm sorry, it ain't going to be Walter Nolan. I mean, I hope the kid turns into something great, but it's not going to be him coming off PUP. He's not going to be the guy that finds his way in the first few weeks of his NFL career. You have no running back right now. I mean, maybe Trey Benson comes back and gives that a spark, but I don't see it coming out of your running back room. So who's going to do it? Is this where Kyler gets a chance to come back in and be that hero? I don't think so. We've seen 7 years of it. We don't have the proof that on a regular basis he can be that guy. Maybe you'll see flashes. Jacoby Brissett can be a bit of a leader. He can calm a locker room, but he's not going to be the star. Trey McBride's good, but is a tight end really going to be able to be that guy? And it's predicated on who's throwing him the ball. Marvin Harrison Jr. could make some of those catches that change the momentum from time to time, but are you confident that he's going to be able to do that on the regular? He's dropping footballs still. I mean, he's better than he was, but I don't have faith that he's going to step into it. And on the defensive side, are we really going to make Calais Campbell be that guy at 40? At almost 40? You're going to expect him to be the heart, the soul, and the motor that gets things done? He's part of it. He's not going to be just that guy. He can help on the leadership side, but who is going to stand up and try to save this team? Who on the coaching staff is going to be that guy? Is Jonathan Gannon going to be that guy? Do we think Jonathan Gannon is going to step up in front of that room and change things, lead them, change that mentality? Because one score games are won and lost with that mentality. I want to believe that Jonathan Gannon can do it. We had a lot of faith that he could. But that faith is waning because I have not seen it in practice. Not like literally practice. I mean, in terms of seeing it when it comes to the winning football games. This team needs a wake-up call in the worst way. And it doesn't feel like they're going to get it. It does not feel like any change is coming during this bye week. It does not feel like there's going to be that moment that shakes them awake. No trade, no firing, nothing seems to be coming to wake this franchise up. So who's here that's going to do it? Who's here that's going to say, you know what? We don't want to be this team anymore. We want to be something different. I'm sick of winding up back in the same place. Just like those Back to the Future movies where all three of those movies were the same plot. Just a different time. It's what it's like being an Arizona Cardinals fan. It's the same storyline over and over and over again, just in a different year. And at what point is that going to change? At what point is somebody going to do something to change that timeline for the positive? So I'm waiting for that. I think we all are. But I'm just not sure that there's a star or a leader that's going to be able to make that happen anytime soon. But But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, how are you today, my friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured tough night last night. At least your football team got a win. You see anybody that's on the horizon that's gonna save this team?
The bye week, maybe.
I
I don't see
hope.
a single person. No.
Yeah. I don't think there's any one person that's going to step up unless Drew Petzing becomes an offensive genius in the bye week and unlocks a million things that he hasn't been able to. Like, what was that movie? Limitless, where Bradley Cooper takes the pill. Can we get Drew Petzing one of those where all of a sudden just that offensive mindset just kicks in and then he's creating plays that no defense can stop? That'd be nice.
It's an underrated movie.
It's a very underrated movie. Bradley Cooper, I think, is underrated overall.
Is he?
I think so.
Can someone that hot be underrated?
Yeah, I think hot people can be underrated. I mean, because the first thing you went to was that he's hot, not that he's a good actor.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think that's unfair. That's what people do to me all the time. They say, "Espo's hot," not that he's a great podcast host.
I gotta be better.
Not and it's tough. There's a tough. Bradley Cooper and I carry a similar cross like that, and it is very difficult to do that. So I don't see some kind of savior riding in with this Cardinals team. Big shout out to the bias. Thank you everybody for being in there. Hello, Deborah, Tracy, and my wife is in there as well. Everybody else in there. Deborah says the players may feel that way. The organization top down will not listen. I agree. I think there's some weird stuff with this team. Hello says, I'm so happy I only have the Suns as my team. I can only take so much. I mean, that is fair as well. Deborah says, Bradley Cooper is both a comedic and dramatic actor. That is correct. Bradley Cooper is. So I think some people in the chat, the bias, not agreeing with me and Bradley Cooper being of the same ilk as well. My wife, dead quiet on the topic also, which sounds about right. Hit that like button. If you're not already a member, become a member of the Supporters Club by hitting that join button. You unlock custom emojis, which are fantastic. I love them. You love them. So check them out. You're going to want to become a member just like Deborah is. Deborah, throw some of those emojis in the chat if you would. Show the people what they're like. And also, become a diehard today. You're going to unlock some great content, and you're going to unlock our members-only Discord where you can interact with the likes of me, of Shane, of Bo and Johnny if you want to talk football, Derek to talk baseball, Steven and Eric to talk basketball. I even think Ayrton, the freckled Mamba, is in there from time to time, so make sure to check that out as well. Not just the Cardinals going back to the future, the NBA is right now as well. As the NBA on NBC returns tonight. Round Ball Rock, the greatest theme song in sports history. John Tesh, a guy that you would not associate with sports, a guy that you wouldn't think, hey, that guy's going to redefine the NBA in ways. That song is a generation of basketball fans' anthem. And it is back tonight as NBC and Peacock have the opening games of the NBA season. Suns don't play till tomorrow, but that does not mean we don't celebrate and recognize that basketball is back, and the best theme song we have ever heard is back. I've spent far too much time on YouTube over the last week listening to the old school NBA on NBC intros, and I cannot wait till tonight at 5 p.m. when I get to hear what they do with the new one. But on the other side of the break, in honor of basketball being back, in honor of the Phoenix Suns tipping off tomorrow, it's a Tearing Up Tuesday where we look at something very special when it comes to the Suns right after this. Shady Rays. I went on vacation with the missus, and this isn't just a vacation thing, but my wife likes to lose her sunglasses, leaving them on the car, leaving them in the hotel, losing them somehow in bags. It happens. But with Shady Rays, when she loses those, I don't have to panic. I don't have to worry. because I know that Shady Rays will replace any lost or stolen pair of sunglasses that she has. I think that the Esposito family may actually bankrupt Shady Rays because of how many pairs of sunglasses we can lose, and that they will help, because Shady Rays has changed the game in so many ways, because these sunglasses are made for real life. They're good looking, they're polarized, they're durable, and they're not stupid expensive. And here's the wild part. Again, if you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays is going to replace them with a brand new pair, guilt trip free. So we're teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an offer that's so exclusive that only you can use it. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code PHNX. You're going to save 35% off. 35% off. Try for yourself. Shady's rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. It is my favorite place in the Valley to go, because it's where you're going to achieve legendary status. You want to know what it's like to live as Espo? You want to go out to Gila River Resorts and Casinos, one of their 4 great resorts and casinos around town: Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, Vequiva, and Santan Mountain. They've got everything that you want. Over 4,500 live games and slots on the floor there. You're also going to be able to catch all the action at the best sports book in the Valley, the largest one. And you're also going to be able to enjoy some of the best dining options in all of Arizona. You're going to want to check it out. And guess what? Every Cardinals road game, we're out at Wild Horse Pass for a watch along. So come out and join us. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathila.com for more details. Shots fired. My wife admits that she does lose sunglasses. The chat thinking that was a knock. No, it's just the truth. It is a Tuesday, and I mentioned the NBA is back today, and I was feeling, you know what? I said, Phoenix Suns are back tomorrow. It's a national holiday these next 2 days for me. I'm working, but there's nothing like basketball being back. And I thought, you know what? We haven't done a Tearing Up Tuesday in a while, so why don't we take a look at Suns logos? Just a reminder, with Tearing Up Tuesday, we start at the Camelback Mountain, and we start in the parking lot. We work our way to the peak. 15 Suns logos we are going to rank from top to bottom, and we are going to start at the base of that mountain, actually in the parking lot of that mountain. And the first one from the early 2000s, it was the sunburst that was not the best in the world. They tried to add gray into the mix, which when you think the Suns, when you think a bright shining sun, you don't want to think about gray. That's the color of clouds, right? Nobody wants to think of that. This was a bad time in logo history for the Phoenix Suns. It's that sunburst in the kind of slanted rectangle with the gray around the purple and orange burst. That one, not my favorite. And another one from that era comes in on this as well. It's this oval sunburst that is next on the list that is kind of squished, compact, and just a ridiculous looking logo overall. I do not understand this thing. Why do you take one of the best logos in the NBA and look like you put it in paint and didn't know how to adjust the shape correctly to keep the aspect ratio? I do not understand why you would do that and make it such a damn ugly logo. It is just gross. You throw in the silver. It deserves to be on this bottom tier as well. Next one, the 40th anniversary logo. This one is just a very, very weird logo as a whole right here. It just looks disgusting to me overall. And I gotta tell you, why are we putting a ribbon around the 40 with the white bird logo, which we'll get into all the problems with the bird logo itself. But I get anniversary logos are supposed to be one-offs. They're not supposed to be that big of a deal. But I don't understand it. It's not special. It just looks awful. It's a disgusting look of a logo and a bastardization of what could be some of the best that the Suns have to offer. Another one, this was from my era with the Phoenix Suns, that early 2010s era. And you get the Suns S with the sunburst, but if you look at it, it doesn't make any sense. It is poorly designed. The burst isn't actually the burst when it looks in the S. This had so much potential, right? With that burst inside an S. If you had done the silhouette right, it would have been perfect. Instead, you just bastardized it, and it just looks awful. And there's a reason that this logo lasted like a year and a half before the marketing team was like, shelve that thing. We can't do it. We can't have it. Like, I was there. Literally, this was during their rebrand. This was supposed to be one of the, this is the cool thing. And it flamed out really quick. It's also during that era where the disgraced former owner tried to get rid of purple because it reminded too many people of the previous ownership. It was disaster all around. And that S is emblematic of some of the worst times in Suns history. We go with another anniversary logo, and I know this is kind of cheating to use anniversary logos, but man, the 50th anniversary, such a big anniversary, a half century that this team's been around, and they go a weird-ass shield. And there were multiple versions of this, but the primary one they used was a black and gold 50 with the word 50 spelled out, which is always just bizarre in these. But then the shield is just lazy and played out. I hated this logo. I hated that it appeared on the court. I hated that it was around. It was not my favorite. Into that next tier. This one is going to cause some people to get extremely pissed off at me. This one is probably going to be the one that my mentions are going to go up in flames, that the bias in the chat's going to call me all sorts of four-letter words. But this next one is the Phoenix logo. The bird logo coming out of the basketball. A, the grays there. B, the Phoenix Suns were not named after the mythical bird, the phoenix. It's lazy. C, it's a ripoff of the Phoenix Firebirds logo that was a million times better with the bird coming out of the baseball. And the PHX in that weird font in silver or in gray and white never did it for me. This was a logo that so many people liked, that so many people embraced, in part because it was during the Steve Nash era. But this one never made sense to me. Never made sense to me at all why this was a primary logo and why people loved it. This next one I really do like, but you start to run out of slots in the top tiers. But the originative logo that they made was a really, really classy and unique logo. I loved it on the court to go with those turquoise uniforms. I had knocked the turquoise at first because I didn't understand, it's not a primary color. But when you got the explanation of why that turquoise became part of what the Suns were doing and how they were honoring the Native American tribes and indigenous people in Arizona, I actually really liked it. Next one is that cactus star logo that we saw last year in the City Edition uniforms. It was a hearkening back to the 1995 NBA All-Star Game. I did not include All-Star Game logos. The 75, the 95, and the 2009 All-Star logos were all beautiful. I did not include them in this, though, but because that cactus and the star was used when it came to the City Edition uniforms, I felt like it was fair to bring that one in. I really liked it, and I enjoyed it. Next is the primary logo that was used in the 2000s and I believe up until recently. It is that black with the orange sunburst. Again, purple nowhere to be found. This was the disgraced former owner trying to brand the team as some kind of Halloween sideshow act rather than embracing the colors that mattered most for this team. That's why it's in this tier. We move up. Again, this is another one that I'm probably going to get lambasted for. But the next one on the list is beloved. The uniforms are amazing. It's the Valley, what do you call it? Gradient pattern that they did with the word mark on it. I like it. It's good. It does not crack the top 3, though, because there are some bangers of logos that this team has used over the years. I'm glad that this is back. I'm glad that the court, everything I've heard is back. The uniforms are back. We're going to see them in mid-November again. It's a good logo. It has not moved to that top pairing for me, though. The El Valle logo. This one is a fun one. It is very, very Arizona. It represents the Hispanic population that's so important to everything in the Valley and so important to the franchise. I loved that it was front and center. I loved that it was different. It went so well on such a unique uniform, such a unique court. I love the El Valle, so we're going to put it in that 3rd tier. It is a top, what do you call that? A top 6 logo. It's number 5 right here in the tiering. Then the original right here, the original sunburst, the stubby little sunburst with the Phoenix Suns word mark from the early days, the original 1968 logo. It's nice. You got to remember, these were hand-drawn back then. These were not computer-generated. There was no Photoshop. There was no way to do anything like that. This was a hand-drawn logo, and it set the basis for everything to come after it. It is one of my favorite. It is not a top 3, though, but there is one of the original logos that will show up. But first, in that 2nd tier, the first one we're going to look at is the 90s primary logo. And yes, I am biased towards this because I am a child of the 90s. Charles Barkley is my favorite son of all time. This was the logo that they unveiled when Charles Barkley showed up to town, when the sunburst uniforms became a thing. It was the logo that was on the court for the 1993 NBA Finals and the entire playoff run. This is a logo synonymous with some fun times in Phoenix, some attitude, some energy, some winning. A new building, a new start. I love this logo, and I still rock it to this day. I promised you one of the original logos, though, do show up in this 2nd tier, and it is the original sun with suns in it. I loved this as the first alternate logo for the Phoenix Suns. It's simple. It's that sun pattern with orange in it with the Suns word mark in the center. It was simple. You saw kind of half of it on the shorts. It wasn't overdone, but it didn't need to be because as simple as it was, it made total sense and fit the branding perfectly. I love this one. This is an underrated logo when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, and I think more people need to put respect on its name. But you know what is at the peak of Camelback. You know what the epitome of great logos is. You know what the OG of Suns logos has to be. It's perpetually rising. It is one of the greatest logos in NBA history. It is one of the greatest jersey designs in NBA history. It is that sunburst that started in the 90s and continued through to now. There's been always some version of it, but they brought the old school back. It is here. Still, it is the primary logo now, and it is the best in Phoenix Suns history. That sunburst is iconic on so many levels. My wife hates it because she grew up a Bulls fan, and I don't care. That logo and this team, my first love. My first love that I've been with for almost 40 years. Going on 40 years. So that is a beautiful logo. Those are the top logos in Suns history. And that is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. If you want to argue with me about those logos, they will be across all of our social medias starting today. And I'm sure there will be a hell of a lot of debate because anytime I do one of these Tearing Up Tuesdays, there is inevitably people that think I fell on my head before I did it. And that's all right. This is my Southwest Bias and you have your own. And you can debate it with me in the comments for sure. So a big thanks to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, for making all the magic happen, making everything on this show in a short period of time. I always appreciate it. You can follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espo. And thank you to all the bias in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out. And remember, basketball's back. So not everything can be bad with the world. Ahoy, hoy. Da, da, da.
all silly like the mayor.